Okay, hello Harwich. We have our visitors from Harwich, England, the Royal British Brass Band, and I said that wrong, didn't I, David? Well, in addition to that, we have a very special guest with us today. We know that our ties to Harwich, England go back beyond the Mayflower, early into the 1600s. And our relationship has continued with Harwich, England since that time. We were not officially entwined with Harwich until May of 1985, but between 1600 and 1985 there have been visits across the sea, both by Harwich, England and Harwich, Massachusetts. But to that end, the reason that we are here today is because of our guest, Georgina. And Georgina accompanied her husband, David, who was a member of the brass band. And one of Georgina's wishes when she came to our country, our town, was to meet with some of the people that aided her family and others in war-ravaged England in the late 40s, 1949, through the 1950s. And so this afternoon we pay special tribute to Georgina, and we have some people from the different organizations, the Women's Club, the Pilgrim Service League, the American Red Cross, Girl Scout troops, all that have had some aid in that respect. Maybe I'll just read a minute from the invitation, and then I'll introduce Georgina, and she may have a few words to say, and after that we'll introduce the different groups because they would like to say something too. So I'll just read from the invitation. It said, prior to and during World War II and beyond, several Harwich, UK families were sponsored by various Harwich organizations, including the Harwich Women's Club, the Pilgrim Church Service League, Dorcas Society, the American Red Cross, the East Harwich Methodist Church, Bundles for Britain, and Girl Scout Troop 2. Georgina is in Harwich now, as I have previously mentioned. Her family, and in particular her brother, George William Leggett, and others, including the Bruce family, were sponsored by these organizations. Georgina's last contact from Harwich, USA, was in 1960 when she received silver wedding spoons on her wedding day. She has had little or no contact since that time. So we know why she is anxious to resume that contact and to be with us today. And I think she has a few words to say, and then we'll do an introduction.
I don't know what to say really. I just have a little note from my brother who was sponsored. He sends his regards. I read it out to you. It says, until a few months ago, I was hoping to meet you all personally, but unfortunately I am under the doctor and have to attend various tests, etc., to find the cause of my pain. But at least I have my sister there with you. She has worked hard preparing this visit, so I hope it all goes off okay. I am sure she will be well received, which I am. Yeah. At least one of the family has made it to Harwich, Massachusetts. Travelling through Harwich via Google Earth cannot compare to the real hands-on feeling. I would like to take this opportunity to send a big thank you to all the kind people who gave their time and gifts to us way back in the 40s. You have no idea how hard my mum worked to keep us all fed and clothed. New shoes were a Christmas present. A new shirt and trousers were birthday presents. Food was still rationed, but we all seemed to be happy. The food parcels from the USA were always very welcome, although chicken in a tin seemed to be a bit weird to us kids all the time. But we all had a good laugh about it. Once again, thank you all very much. God bless you all. Bill Leggett. this is just one that I've wrote out. It was wonderful when I heard the Harwich Royal British Legion Band was going to visit Harwich, Massachusetts. One of my mother's dreams was to pay a visit to our sister town here and meet her friend, Mrs. Snow, and Mrs. McCarthy, who she wrote to and received letters for many years, but alas, she did not live to fulfil her dream. My brother William, would have loved to have come, but unfortunately he is far from well to make the journey, but sends his regards and thanks for all the kindness and the interest that has been shown to him and our family through those years. We all remember the parcels that were sent to us. We're more or less saying the same things, but I remember the soap that used to float in the bath. My younger brother Russell and Bill, remembered the tin chicken, and he had never seen or heard before and was not keen on trying. We wondered how on earth the chicken got in the tin, but today we wouldn't think anything of it. How we used to look forward to the arrival of those parcels. We would hurry home from school and say to Mum, "Has the parcel arrived yet?" As Mrs. Snow would write and let Mum know that the parcel was on its way. We would stand round the table in amazement. Food, clothes, writing, books, all sorts of things. It was so wonderful to get a parcel all the way from America. So many memories. One I remember receiving was a black and white exercise book. And to my surprise, while visiting my brother-in-law and his wife in Phoenix in 2001, found one of the exact books that I had received all those years ago and just had to buy it. I still have it at home and it brings back so many memories. So we all thank you so much for your kindness. I have put together a scrapbook with some press cuttings of that period and photos of our family. My mother was a great lady who worked very hard to bring in money to feed us 3 children. She never remarried. You will see in the photo my grandmother. She lost her husband 6 months after my father was killed. So my nan moved in with us and stayed home to look after us while Mum went out to work. We had a good life. My mum and nan brought us up very well, as you can see. My brother and I would like to thank you all for everything that was put in those parcels. They meant so much to us. Also thank you all for the research that has been done on my behalf and also for this lovely tea. How my mother would have loved it. Please accept these books. It has all the family in there.
Okay, I'll see that it gets to the proper.
And this, I don't know whether you can... This is just a picture of all the things that are in our little town of Harwich. And it tells you on the back who they are. It's hand painted, and I hope you'll accept that.
Yes,
Let's
I will
put it
accept
somewhere.
it. We will accept it on behalf of the town of Harwich and the various organizations that have aided your family. And it's with great appreciation, and we're so pleased that you could join us today. And we have happy memories, and we hope that it concludes memories for you. And while we're here right now, I would like to introduce some people that have joined us this afternoon. I think I will start with the Snow family. We introduced through the Women's Club, the Pilgrim Service League, and the Dockers Society. And many of us are familiar with Mrs. Grace Snow and her family. And unfortunately, we have heirs of Mrs. Snow with us this afternoon. And I think maybe we can introduce Nancy Snow Lowry, the granddaughter of Mrs. Snow, that was instrumental in sending so many of the packages to the Leggett family. And then we have Nancy's cousins. Am I right?
Right.
I'm sorry.
Marsha.
and Anne, who are the nieces of Mrs. Snow, Mrs. Grace Snow, and Mrs. Snow and her brother and their mother visited Harwich, England, while they were in England for the coronation of Queen Elizabeth. So they made a trip to Harwich. They visited with the Leggett family and the Bruce family as well. So we welcome you. We're very, very thankful that you could join us this afternoon. Thank you.
I believe your grandmother
Right.
came just after we were flooded out in '53. We had a tidal wave that most of Harwich was flooded out, and she came over just after that, so she saw part of the disaster that was happened there then.
Okay.
Thank you for sharing that. I didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
No, thank you. And then I think we'll go to the next table for some introductions, just so that you know who people are. And we have a lady that joined you on the trip, Ans Bartholomew from Harwich, England. We have Betty Pino from our local television channel, 18. Cynthia McGalliard, the business manager for the Harwich Town Band, also on the host committee. And Roseanne Clark, who is a member of the host committee, as well as a member of the Harwich Cultural Council that provided some goodies for us. And the table behind that, we'll start with, am I okay, Jill?
You're fine.
We have members on one side, previous members of the Harwich Women's Club. We have Patricia Clammer, who has spoken to you and shared some information. We have Mrs. Frances Nesmith, Carolyn Kroll, and then we're going, okay, right. And then we have two members of the Harwich Host Committee, the Town Band Host Committee. We have Peg Rose, who is also a member of the Friends of the Arts for the Town of Harwich. And we have Dorothy Hemmings, who is a member of the Town Band and also a member of the Host Committee. And then we go in the back. Over there, we have Gail Marshall, who is on the Town Band. She's also on the host committee for the group, the band group. She also is co-chairman of the tea this afternoon, so she's been wearing many hats these past few days. And of course, you know Peter Cobb. He is the band director, conductor, and his wife Sharon with her lovely hat. Thank you. And then we have one more table. We have Karen Larson, whose husband's mother, I believe, was instrumental in the Pilgrim Service League of the Doctor Society, and her name comes up frequently in all of the correspondence and minutes. We have Bev Nightingale, who is a member of the Town Band Host Committee, and Bev was very instrumental in getting the Dorcas room to set our tea up this afternoon. She is also the historian of Pilgrim Church. Her records have shown and proved many of the statements that have been made this afternoon, and the Bruce family was one of the families, and also a nice thank you note or minutes showing a thank you from the Leggett family. And last but not least, we have Donna Weber, who is the current president of the Harwich Women's Club. And maybe Donna would like to say a few words.
On behalf of the 80 ladies who now are part of the Harwich Women's Club, we want to welcome you here to our town. We're so glad to finally meet you. We'd like to give you this as a little souvenir of Cape Cod.
Well, thank you very much.
This is just a little token from the host committee, the Town Band Host Committee.
Thank you very much.
And it wouldn't be fitting if we didn't send a package to Bill. So just a little remembrance from all of us in Harwich to Bill.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Thank you all very much. It's been a wonderful time. A bit emotional because my brother's not here. He's quite ill at the moment, and we'd like him to be here, but that wasn't to be. So thank you all very much, and thank you in the past for those wonderful parcels. The three of us will never forget them. It was marvellous to receive them. If you knew how hard my mother worked, she used to go around on a bicycle and do people's houses out for them, and got back 50 shillings or something like that. It wasn't very much. But she managed to bring us all up, and we were very proud of her, the way that she brought us all up, and the help from America was a good help, I can tell you that. Thank you all very much.